right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about intro bill number 126, local law to amend the administrative code of the City of New York in relations to requiring the reporting of environmental data regarding schools. We had a situation on PS 51 where parents, after months of the Board of Education knowing exactly what was taking place regarding some toxins in the school, the parents were not notified until 6 months later. As a parent, as a grandfather, I can tell you that that is a scary situation. I don't want any parent in the city of New York to ever be placed in a situation where they don't know what our children being exposed to. Parents have a right to know what kind of environmental conditions they are exposed to in a place where they're supposed to feel safe, and namely, I'm talking about public schools. And today, I've been joined by advocates. I want to introduce Mark Adove with the New York Lawyers for Public Interest, who's going to be introducing other speakers.
New York Lawyers for the Public Interest has been fighting for environmental justice around New York City for years. As a part of that work, we've been working with parents and communities around the city to push for healthy and safe schools, in particular to make sure that schools, that children in our schools are not exposed to the toxic contaminants that we know are prevalent around the city, but especially in low-income communities and especially in communities of color. We're very proud to have been working with the parents from PS 51 that the councilman described, who have been fighting. Their school was closed a couple of years ago after the Department of Education found out about contamination in their school that we should have known about 20 years earlier when the school was built in a former factory building. As part of the way that all happened, parents did not find out until 6 months after the city learned this information. They only discovered during the summer when the city decided to close the school because of the contamination. This bill, Intro 126, would make sure that does not happen again. It'll make sure that the Department of Education gives parents prompt and clear notification when the city discovers an environmental problem that our parents have the right to know about. I was going to introduce Mary McKinney, who's a parent from Soundview in the Bronx. She brought to our attention problems that were happening when the school built when the city built a school into a contaminated property in Soundview. So Mary, if you can speak for a couple minutes and let us and explain. This is about PS 51, but it's a bigger issue than that. It's a citywide issue.
Thank you so much. My name is Mary McKinney, and I'm the chairman for the Concerned Resident Organization, a coalition of community advocates in the Soundview neighborhood of the Bronx to express support for the Intro 126. One of our primary goals for the Concerned Resident is to fight for better public and oversight of the environment, health of our public school. The fight began with the Soundview Educational Campus. This public school was built on the site of a former L'Oreal electronic system manufacturing facility without any public notice or review. They didn't come to anyone in that community. For half a century, the L'Oreal site was used for manufacturing military electronic system, storage, and hazard material. After L'Oreal shut down, the site was used as a parking lot for trucks loaded with pesticides and the informal garbage disposal. It has been a nuisance to our community for years. I later discovered that because this was a leased school building, the School Construction Authority does not conduct a public environment review or allow community members to offer their input on a site. We know that's wrong. The Soundview Education Campus opened in 2004, even though the SCA's own environmental investigation found very high level of toxic heavy metals in the surrounding soil and groundwater. Despite the significant contaminant, the SCA completed its environmental investigation, obtained a zoning override to locate a school at a manufacturing district and enter a 30-year lease. All this happened within 20 days. They did a whole turnaround within 20 days to build this school. We are concerned and remain concerned that the cleaning up of site was inadequate and only involved the removal of 12 inches of soil around the perimeter of the school and paved a driveway. To my knowledge, there are no subsurface barrier to keep contaminants from migrating underneath the schools from the rest of the Lebanon property that remains today contaminated.
Good afternoon, everybody, or maybe still good morning. I really just wanted to take the opportunity to thank my colleague, Councilman Cabrera, for showing leadership on this important issue. What happened at PS 51, it's just unimaginable that this could happen, and we need to be aggressive about making sure that this never happens again. As I learned more about the issue and got involved with the parents and children who went to 51, people just should not be treated like this in this city in this day and age. The previous administration had stonewalled on this. This is important legislation, and I'm proud to be a sponsor. So thank you, Council.
I think we have one other speaker. We have Claire Barnett here from the Healthy Schools Network.
Thank you, Mark. My name is Claire Barnett. I'm Executive Director of the Healthy Schools Network. And we're here to support the work of not only all the parents and the community associations here, but also New York Lawyers for the Public Interest. They've done a great job. Whether the contaminants are TCE plumes under schools or PCBs in the light and the ceiling fixtures or anything else, we always need to remember that if there weren't any children, there wouldn't be any schools. Schools are really about what's happening to children, and every parent needs to be assured that there's a healthy learning environment, that kids are healthy enough to take their tests, that they're healthy enough to stay in school, and they're not missing school because of headaches and other and chronic health conditions caused by contaminants in the buildings. So I'm also here to tell you, because although we started in Albany, New York, we've worked nationally for more than a dozen years on school environmental issues. You're not alone. That's the good news and the bad news. That this is a national problem, it is a state problem, and it is very much a city problem. And it's very important for parents to have the information they need to help schools and help school leaders make the right decisions.